I'm your homeboy, Low from the Go. I'm back with another episode. A nigga like me, I like to dig deep. And I like to think outside of the box. And I like to make shit add up. At the end of the day, everything gotta add up. Now, when I be up here and I be talking about these rappers, these entertainers, that's just to get you niggas into the program, right? When I get up here and I talk about all the niggas that I talk about, it's to bring the young minds in. You know why? Because an older person like me can teach a few younger people and maybe even reach a couple of older people. I've been studying this YouTube art for a while now. I'm still in my studies. I'm not the best student. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But guess what I am? I'm a fast learner. And not only am I a fast learner, I'm a hustler. Not only am I a hustler, I'm just a person that cares about the community, considering what has happened to me and my family for years and years and years living in Chicago. Now, I told y'all, if you know me, my 9-year-old niece was killed. I had another niece and a nephew that was killed on the same day, brothers and sisters, man, in a domestic situation. That shit is shocking to the average person that I talk to. When I tell them how my daughter was in the house and that house was robbed and the motherfucker shot her grandmother right in front of her face and her mother had to jump out the window to escape, by not knowing what was going on with her kids and her mom in a goddamn house. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We spread it all across Chicago, but the situations that I'm telling you guys about, it happens in Chicago and it happens other places, man. I've been a victim of tragedy, y'all, for years and years, and I gotta make it make sense to me because I need therapy. You know, my kids need therapy. The moms need therapy. Everybody needs therapy. Nobody has nobody to talk to. Nobody has nobody to call on. So that's why I do a show like this, because I believe that mental health and physical health is what's needed in the Black community. Mental health and physical health. We got to work our minds out to become greater. We got to work our bodies out to become greater. And I ain't talking about that bullshit when you have sex, you losing pounds and you gaining muscle. No, man, you gonna fuck your body up having sex, man. To lay down, that is only to go to sleep and to have sex. But to lay down purposely is to go to sleep. You gotta stand up, you gotta be physical, you gotta be active, man. You gotta be active, you gotta eat your green vegetables, because that's what we got the maulers for. We got the mauler teeth so that we can eat greens, leafy vegetables, you know, and be healthy. You know, eat your carrots, man. Eat your corn. Eat tomatoes. I love tomatoes. You know, I can fry some green ones, or I can just eat some red ones with some salt and pepper on them. Them motherfuckers is good. Eat your tomatoes. But I came across something, and that made me say, I gotta bring this news to my people, to the people that watch me on this channel right here, because I hold the responsibility to the people that pay attention to the words that come up out of my mouth. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Low from the Go. I did my civic duty the other day and went and I went to jury duty. But I got the hell up out of there with the quickness with my political views, because when I see shit like this, it makes it easy for a nigga like me to get the hell up out of those type of situations. Now, I came across this article, right? This article, it says that a study finds nearly 90% of Black homicide victims were killed with guns. You don't say how many of those Black victims were domestic violence attacks. They don't say whether it was a jealous lover, a scorned lover, or somebody that wanted to kill you in the workplace, like white people do. But they come up with creative ways because they try to actually beat the shit, which we come up with creative ways as well. There's so much crime going on, anybody can get fucked up by a gun. You can get robbed, you can get whatever with a gun. But it says that 90%, nearly 90, let me get that correct. Nearly 90% of black homicide victims were killed with guns, man. And it's kind of sad, man. But I'd rather for it to be 90% killed with guns than 90% killed with knives, you know? Because a knife death is a little bit more horrible than a gun death, I do believe. But I know the deadliness of having a knife inside of your body, considered the fact that I was stabbed. You know what I'm saying? So I look at this article and I think about the day-to-day activities that go on in the black community. It's sad and it's painful, but that's the way it is, right? For right now, that's the way it is. The people and the powers that be don't want us to reach our potential. So they flood us with stories like this. It's kill or be killed, right? Now you're reading stories like this and you thinking, the only way I can survive in a black neighborhood is to kill another black person with a firearm, right? Don't that make sense? I'm gonna read a little bit of what's going on with this article right here. It's definitely a lot. I'm gonna read the shit and get back to y'all. So let's say the study published by the Washington, D.C. based Violence Policy Center revealed that in 2019, the United States recorded 7,441 black homicide victims. That was in 2019. 7,000 people all across the United States. Now, when you think of the fact that it's millions of black people in the United States, and you say 7,000 was killed, well, that number kind of seems weird to me, because they will put a number like that out there and say, well, 7,000 black people got killed with guns. How many white people died in the United States in 2019? 7,441 blacks died, but how many whites died by guns in the United States? This including accidental shootings as well. But this is what they put out here for us, right? This is the poison that they put out here so that we can kill each other more and more on a daily basis. They put out all these stories about you can't go downtown no more in Chicago. You can't do this no more. You can't do that no more because shootings is happening. Guess what they leaving out? They leaving out all the white shootings, because this is all about black crime, right? That's what they want you to think it is in the hood. We get a lot of crime, a lot of violence. We need to work on that. Don't get me wrong, we need to work on that. But I'm gonna say partially, because we got people that'll put a story like this out there, it'll make you feel as if when you see your brother, and not for the negative people out there. I'm not talking to the people that's out there with 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm talking to the people that's average, everyday working people. Let's put that number out there. How much and how many times does the average, everyday working person get killed doing anything? Let's put that number out there. And then how many of them are black, how many of them are white, just the average person get killed doing anything, because you can get killed anyway. So my thing is, when they put stories like this out here and we listen to these stories, it can fuck you up, because you would think that your brother is your worst nightmare. But when you say 7,000 blacks killed in America, out of how many cities in America, out of how many millions of people in America, then when you add that number to the average American that's just getting killed, you will feel more comfortable. You'll feel like, shit, my brother ain't really the one that's killing me. But it's something that's killing us. It's the people who you surround yourself around, the places you choose to spend your time, and the things you choose doing when you're spending your leisure time out. Now, we spent a lot of our time going to work, being productive citizens in the streets, being great parents. Then we wouldn't even have articles like this one right here. Well, not as many. We still would, because people kill people every day. Niggas die every day. 7,441 black homicide victims, according to a new and comprehensive study on gun violence. Black men, women, boys, and girls remain the most impacted victims of homicide in America. Yet year after year, this shocking and unacceptable toll is allowed to continue. The study, published by the Washington, D.C. based Violence Policy Center, revealed that in 2019, the United States recorded 7,441 black homicide victims. African Americans represented 14% of the United States population, but account for about 52% of all homicide victims. It also says that the official said it's based on unpublished data from the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Supplementary Homicide Report. The study details homicide rates for 2019, the most recent year for which comprehensive national data is available. They trying to pull the wool over our eyes, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they trying to do by saying that our brothers and sisters are hurting each other at a more crazier rate than anybody else, man. When crime happens to all people, we might not got that clear example in the United States, but look at the other European countries. You know what I'm saying? Look at other European countries, man. Look right now at the Ukraine and Russia. Perfect example of white folks fighting, killing white folks. But what y'all think about this shit, man? 90%, nearly 90% of black homicides is by a gun. What that tells me is that 90% of motherfuckers that's black that got an issue with a motherfucker and they want to kill him, they kill him with a gun, right? They don't use poison. They don't use a science. They don't use other methods of killing motherfuckers. They don't toss your ass in a crazy house. They kill you with a gun. It makes sense. When we think about those numbers and we think about the other numbers, I feel safe as an African American. Even though niggas die every day, B, but just look at the news. People die every day, B. Cops die every day, B. Kids die every day, B. But 90% of the murders in the black community is done with handguns. Does that even include racist murders? Because black people are still being killed by guns. So does that include the 19 people that the white man shot up? I bet it do. I bet it do. I bet it include all of those type of scenarios. They just said guns. Let it say at the hands of the black man, which that number may be high too, considering what's going on in America and how America treats its black citizens. Tell me how y'all feel about this shit in the comment section. I'll be back later with more news and commentary. It's your homeboy, Low from the Go. Members Only Podcast, Fast and Furious interviews. Peace.